refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
This is Mohammed for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast, KALLE SAUERLAND, KSI, Fournier this Saturday night. Just do your thing and sell me the show.
Watch the press conference and you'll be sold. DAZN.com. Oh my God, it's going down. No, I mean, we've got everything on there, but the main event, KSI goes and attempts to do what Jake Paul tried earlier this year against Tommy Fury, beat a professional 9-0, former top 10 WBA international champion in Joe Fournier. I think David A made their argument today, saying that if KSI comes in like he has with other opponents and tries to take him out of there like that, then he's going to take one. We're in for one hell of a fight. We obviously believe in our man, KSI, and we think he's going to do what Jake Paul couldn't do. But it's a hell of a show. It's going to be a sold-out Wembley Arena again on Saturday night. We've cracked 50,000 ticket sales now within 7 months at Misfits all over the world. Very proud to say that today. Cracked the 50,000th ticket today, so that's fantastic. We've sold out the O2, Wembley Arena twice. All the shows in the States, from New Orleans, Austin. Let's not forget Telford. It's been one hell of a year for Misfits, so absolutely fantastic, and what a stage.
Well, you didn't need to grab any of them dollars that KSI was chucking across the table.
Oh, no, listen, penny, what is it, penny wise, pound, I can't remember the expression there exactly, but I know, man, a dollar's a dollar. I'll take them all. But Anthony Taylor was pretty quick. He hoovered them all up very quickly.
He did, actually.
I was a bit disappointed when the bag came out. I thought there was going to be $100 bills, and then I certainly would have been moving. Greedy promoter, always taking the dollars off the table. I had Del Boy on me straight afterwards. Oh, you took the dollars? I said, no, Del, we're dollar bills.
Well, it's better that dollars are getting thrown across the table, not like Derrick's or tables are getting thrown.
I got hit by a fish. I've never had that before.
Yeah, that was strange.
I got hit by a wet, dead fish. Actually, you can still see the marks there on this lovely piece of cloth. The dry cleaning will be busy.
Kalle, just away from this, just want to pick your brains on some other things. Obviously, fantastic to hear that EUBANK Smith 2, or Smith EUBANK 2, I should say, has got a new date and only a couple of weeks away.
Wait, just a second. So yes, we've been notified that he's injured. We've been informed of a new date, but we haven't received the medical reports to confirm that new date. So whilst that new date's been announced, and I'm sure it will be that new date, I'm not putting that into doubt, but until we've received the medical, and we're talking 6 days later, then it was it's been we've received something this after. I think it's late morning, so that's being looked at now. But it's a bit odd. I've never had a show where someone's said he's got an injury. We didn't receive medicals from the promoter on his side. Not doubting him for a second, but I find it rather odd just to say, oh, it's another date. What happens if Chris EUBANK Jr. was getting married that weekend? What happens if he was, planning the holiday of a lifetime after the fight? I have no idea. But it was put to us, it's 2 weeks later, no medical, and announced. And it's a bit disturbing, but at the same time, we'll hopefully have that resolved, and July the 1st will be the date. But like I said, right now, we've just received the medical almost a week after finding out that he'd had that injury.
Strange that Sky announced it then, isn't it, Kalle?
I mean, they work with their promotional partner, with Boxer. We're a co-promoter on the show, but at the same time, we were told that they wanted to move it, but we requested the medicals, which is very standard in boxing, by the way.
Quickly, just before I let you go, the other press conference is starting. What did you make of Boxer pulling out? Fraser Clark out the purse bids of Fabio Wardley fight?
A bizarre one. I don't know the exact rulings around the British Board of Boxing Control, who pulls who out. What I would say is normally you get pulled out if there's something bigger. Have they got something bigger for Fraser Clark? I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they surprise us on Monday and he's fighting Mike Tyson. I don't know, but I'm not involved in it. I looked at it. Yeah, it's a fight.
Well,
I would have liked to have seen
Ben's
it.
come out and said they want the fight on their terms.
Yeah, but that's why there's a purse bid to settle that, isn't it? You know, that's unfortunately the rules. But maybe he said I don't want to talk, into their discussions. I don't know. I don't know what's gone on there. I'm not privileged to that information. It's a shame because everyone seems to want the fight, and a purse bid generally is something that's there to protect the fighters, that the fair price is paid. So, yeah.
Can a promoter pull out a fighter from a purse bid?
With the world bodies, absolutely. You put me on the spot there with the British body. I don't know if it's the manager or the promoter who has to formally do it. But ultimately, unfortunately, in this case, it's not the fighter, because I think Fraser wanted the fight. But the fighter obviously can't bid. You need a promotional license to bid. So it's a bizarre one. But again, to play devil's advocate, maybe they've got something up their sleeves that's absolutely massive for Fraser Clark. I don't know. It was, for me, it seemed like a very good matchmaking, good fight to take Fabio Wardley. Nathan Gorman put him through hell in the first round, made a huge mistake in the second round, but you saw that it's not, he's undefeatable. Yeah? I think Fraser Clark has been around for a long, long time. The argument will be he hasn't had a 12-rounder before, but at the same time, it's very, very exciting. Would have been a very exciting fight. So I guess I look at it as a fan, and again, sort of have to pull that face.
I've just heard we've got 3 more minutes. I'll sneak one more in. If KSI does the business this Saturday, how close are we to getting a fight with Tommy Fury over the line?
I get on well with John, top fella, really stand-up guy. But it's a big fight. A lot of things have to get run around those fights. We're looking just at Saturday at the moment, but of course, Tommy's sort of that one that JJ wants after this. But I've said to him, focus on Saturday night. It's a live fight. It's your first pro you're fighting, so.
Have negotiations gone deep at this stage?
We've had a very serious exchange of discussions. Put that in a formal way, no?
Kalle, thank you very much for your time. We'll speak soon, all right? Top man.
Thank you very much.
Because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,